people, she's had this take in the past, I think it was a couple weeks ago, that why are you telling people they still can't do anything after they've been vaccinated? That's the worst possible messaging that you could have. And this take, though, came out all sorts of wrong.
The vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
The government shouldn't decide those freedoms.
Yeah.
However, I do agree with her. No, in that you've got to give me a solid reason. I mean, there's a lot of people that are on the fence on this vaccine. Like, I don't know, you know. I would take a wait-and-see approach. It's like, if the carrot is there, though, rather than doom is still here, the next wave is coming.
That part I get. You know, but if you're talking about, okay, I want to go to a ball game, concert, whatever, and they're saying, hey, you got to show this card. Okay, they can do that. I don't want the government doing it.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. So, I think I actually more or less agree with the basic point that she's making, like what Scott said, right? That, hey, you know, if you're telling people you still can't do stuff after you got the vaccine, then what's the point? You know, I think that is terrible messaging. But where the starting point, I think, is a very good illustration of why so many of our conversations about the coronavirus and so many other things are hopelessly broken, is because there is this mindset that permeates media, political parties, every corner of our society, that if the government doesn't allow it, or does allow it, or doesn't force you to do it, or does force you to do it, then it doesn't actually exist. You know, if Texas opens up 100%, does that stop people from going and getting vaccinated? No. No, it doesn't. And I can prove it because Texas reopened and people are still getting vaccinated.
Right. They're just now eligible.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So there's some people that don't want to get it.
So that's fine.
I mean, if you're a 21-year-old woman, you're like, you know, I'm just uneasy about it. It could be something with, you know, one day I want to be a mom. I just don't know. To me, I'm not comfortable with it. You just have the freedom to say, I don't want it.
I don't want it.
That's in relatively good shape. Probably going to be fine. I mean, the statistics on that. So the government making her do it?
Well, in order for her to go see a movie from now on,
Then you
or to
have
go
to
to
make
a
that,
restaurant, or go to, you know?
then you have to make that decision as that person.
Yeah, I know, but that's
the government saying it.
No, I know. But it's like, that seems like a hell of a stiff penalty to pay for refusing a vaccine. I can't participate in life anymore.
And
So which side are you fighting on?
I'm sort of squishy on this, but I don't necessarily want to show vaccine cards.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way we're headed.
I think, to me, if you have a vaccine that's authorized under emergency use authorization, people who are skeptical of it are not crazy. And it's not this anti-vaxxer conspiracy, right?
Correct.
Because, you know, most of the vaccines we do take, especially the ones that your kids usually have to take if they want to go to a public school, those have been around for years. Those are not being distributed under an emergency use authorization. There's been more rigorous testing. I got no problem with this current vaccine. I plan to get it myself as soon as I can get an appointment. But I understand if somebody is hesitant to do that, and I think, for the love of God, you got to stop acting like people who are a little bit wishy-washy on it are just crazy conspiracy theorists, because many of them are not.
Well, that's what the left does. Pretty much anybody that doesn't think exactly the way they do. I mean, they're...
appeal at it. That is, I do not make... End of politics, the end of government is justice. So you want justice, what does that mean? It means giving everything its proper place, giving people what they deserve. And so I just think you're so right about this, and I'm glad conservatives are starting to wake up. A proper conservatism puts things in their proper place, and they recognize...
That's right.
We live in a country, we live together, we have many considerations here in our politics, and we need to put them where they belong.
Well, and this is one of the reasons why conservatives will win every election by 70%, 80%, or we're just going to get completely run over. Yeah. And if the conservative movement goes back to this corporatist default position, forget it. But if all of a sudden we go to a people-centered, human-focused, properly postured movement, we're going to win big time. Yep. And look, we want to defend the Straussian natural right tradition that has been so well articulated and defended, that's been passed down through some of the greatest thinkers. And if you're a conservative, you must understand we are trying to protect the natural law doctrine, and most importantly, that comes to the rights of the individual, your loyalty to your fellow countrymen, the family, which has been obliterated by these ridiculous corporations, and the binds that tie us together in the United States.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right, Charlie. I'm glad I brought you on so that you can articulate these views.
I have to do it again. Everyone should go buy Michael's book.
You are too kind, Charlie. I was going to wait for you to plug something, and you end up plugging my book, Speechless. I appreciate it. Charlie, in the 5 seconds we have left, where can people find you?
CharlieKirk.com. Check out the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. Michael's a frequent guest. We're going to save this country. Everything's going to be fine.
Love it. Thank you, Charlie. You're doing great work. Go find Charlie. Follow TPUSA. Buy the Mag and Doctor. Listen to the Charlie Kirk Show. And you'll probably see him on an airplane at some point, because he's always going all over the country. But not Delta. Thank you, Charlie Kirk. I'm Michael Knowles, filling in for the Ben Shapiro Show. Do not touch that radio dial. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
3 different vaccines.
Johnson & Johnson's newly approved coronavirus vaccine.
We now have 3 safe and highly effective vaccines that prevent serious illness, hospitalization, and death from COVID-19.
Life-saving medicine.
The current 7-day average is 1.7 million shots per day.
Public health officials say the safest thing to do is take the first vaccine that becomes available to you rather than holding out for a specific brand.
And if I could leave people with one message, get vaccinated. It's the first vaccine available to you.
So, from June 30th, 2016, beginning then, transgender individuals were allowed to serve in the military in their identified or assigned gender upon completing transition. So basically that women who believed themselves to be men could serve with the men or vice versa. And then Trump gets elected and Trump reverses that policy. So it's a very, very brief window of time when men who think that they're women and women who think that they're men could serve in the military. Now I guess you can do it again. This is insane. This is insane that our military would permit men who believe that they're women and women who believe that they're men to serve in the military. The reason that Joe Biden and Democrats want to permit this is as a matter of social engineering. They think it's really good for society if we are very open and tolerant even to people who perceive the world and their bodies in a way that is simply not accurate. What is the purpose of the military? The purpose of the military is to kill our enemies, and in so doing, to deter our other enemies. That's the whole purpose. I want the biggest, baddest, toughest dudes to be in the military so that they can kill our enemies the easiest and deter our other enemies because of how big and bad and tough they are and how easily they can kill our enemies, right? That's the whole purpose of the military in a sane society. In an insane society, the purpose of the military is to make people feel really good, and to express the new progressive understanding of the body and the soul and the relation of the this to the that and the great mystery series of life. What are Republicans going to do about it? What are we going to say? Here's what I think a lot of Republicans, look, sane Republicans who...
Trading up your non-contact thermometer for an accurate temporal scanner and a $5 rebate from Exergen, where
Take advantage of today's low mortgage rates and save money? Rocket can. You could save hundreds of dollars every month by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage at today's near historic low rates. If your current rate is over 4%, you could lower your payment by over $150 a month, saving thousands in interest every year. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Savings rate on quick and long term rates. Points may apply. Call for cost information and conditions. Keep on the letter. License on 50 days. And all consumer access dialogue. 5030.
Maximum sustained winds near 125 miles per hour.
Severe weather.
Very dangerous scenario.
Serious coverage. Stay connected with Operation Stormwatch on Lincoln's KFOR.
Making good homes better. This is the Money Pit Home Improvement Show, on air and online at moneypit.com. I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. But enough about us. The Money Pit is about you. So whether you live in a house or an apartment, whether you're dealing with a repair or dreaming about a renovation, we're going to help you tackle your to-dos with confidence and have a little fun along the way.
If you've got a home improvement question, you can reach us right now at 1-888-MONEY-PIT.
Frida from Ohio is on the line with the Money Pit. How can we help you today?
Hi, my radar, I'm in a radar range microwave. It's mounted above my stove, and on the bottom, the down light, it shines down onto the stove. The light bulbs in that keeps burning out, and I have to replace them about once a month, and they're getting expensive.
What kind of light bulb are you using? Is it a regular incandescent?
Like the R11, the little appliance bulbs, 40 watts.
And is this a fairly new problem, this once-a-month burnout, or has it been going on for a long time?
It's getting worse. I mean, we've had the microwave in here. It's probably about 16 years old, or give or take.
Yeah, that doesn't really owe you any money. That's pretty old for a microwave appliance. You pretty much reached the end of a normal lifestyle. In fact, I'm kind of surprised it lasted that long, because it's been my experience that the microwave ovens that are mounted above ranges don't last nearly as long as a countertop microwave, because the additional heat from all that cooking has the effect of sort of wearing on those components. Typically, when you get a bulb that burns out quickly, it's either because you have a loose connection, you have a loose ground, or you have a problem with the voltage that's going in there. Sometimes, depending on what's happening with the power company, you could be getting, say, more than 120 volts. You might be getting 125, 130 volts sometimes, because there could be something that is bad down the line with the power supply, the quality of the power supply. So if you have extra volts going into those lights, that is one of the first things that tends to show it. It's kind of like the canary in the coal mine. You know, when the lights start to burn out frequently like that, it could be an issue with the voltage. So, have you been thinking about a new microwave?
Not really.
What I would suggest is at this point, you really need to have the voltage tested. So I would call the utility company and ask them to meter the voltage going into your house and see if let's eliminate that as a possibility. If that is okay, the second thing I would check is the plug that it's actually plugged into. I check the outlet to make sure it's properly grounded. And if it's properly grounded, then I think you've exhausted the two things that are the easiest to fix. And at that point, you might want to think about replacing the microwave.
All right, that sounds good.
Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
Well, there are a few things all old house lovers like me are familiar with. You know, drafty windows, less than perfect plumbing, squeaky floors, and my... Now, most of us put more stuff into a closet than we take out of the closet. Keeping clutter under control, it's totally possible, but you need to...
Because step one is to empty your entire closet. seriously.
Oh God, then you have no choice but to do it.
It's a bold move, but it serves several purposes. First, it allows you to see what you've been stuffing into that space and do a quick, fast assessment on whether you really need to either keep it, pack it away, or donate it. And once that process is done, it's time for a little closet reno. So go ahead and fill those holes in time and paint the space and give yourself a clean start. And note that it's often helpful to remove that closet door at this point of the project, because in a small space like that, you don't have to give it away, and so we can take off, just do just that, and it's easier for you to work with.
Next comes fun. And for shopping, there's really so many amazing shopping tools at your favorite closet, along with accessories galore, like pull-out drawers, shoe racks, even multi-level hanging bars. But you gotta find the system that's right for you, and then install it. And it really is an easy DIY project, especially if you have a few hard tools around, like the cordless drill driver. You can supplement those built-in shelves with rolling storage for hampers or cleaning supplies, and you're going to have everything you need to put that clutter behind you.
And finally, take note of the lighting in your closet, too. You know, it's hard to dress for success when you can't see the color of your clothes. And if more lighting belongs on that to-do list, check out the wide array of battery-powered LED lighting that's now available from numerous brands. I have these in several of our own closets, and I have been amazed at not only how much light they actually throw off, but that the batteries have lasted, in some cases, for over a year.
Yeah, that's really great. Well, that's today's tax refund tip, presented by Heart Tools, available exclusively at Walmart. Do it with heart. You can learn more at hearttools.com, where you'll also find step-by-step plans for dozens of fun projects,
including plans for 2 different types of pegboard organizers. And Leslie, I spotted a fitness shelf project on that site. Looks like it can hold a lot of shoes in your newly remodeled closet. So check out all the project plans at hearttools.com.
Give us a call, let us know what you are working on, so we can give you a hand with all of those projects. Well, we may think about beefing up insulation in the fall, but spring is also a perfect time to take on an attic insulation project before it gets to be ridiculously hot in that attic. We're going to have some tips on how to insulate one of the more difficult spaces in your home after this.
I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley with Lincoln's first forecast. A blend of clouds and sun this afternoon with a high of 85. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance for scattered showers tonight, slows things down to about 59, cloudy. Chance for scattered showers tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 82. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. For an extended look at the forecast, log on to KFORnow.com. Right now, 64.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations. All free with the radio.com app.
The journey on the path to spiritual enlightenment is personal. And as you'll hear on the Astray podcast, it can also be deadly. Join filmmaker Caroline Slaughter on the podcast as she uncovers the disappearances and deaths that have befallen Westerners who have taken a spiritual pilgrimage to India.
A lot of people that will hear this podcast will be seekers. Don't go to India. This is a Buddhist flytrap for your vulnerability.
Listen to Astray wherever you get your podcast.
No one really tries to be safe online.
And search us for free earpods. It's hot.
But every time you give up info and privacy,
So I go here for a day for free parking.
you may have to give up some safety too.
Park up this road.
Good thing North 360 LifeLock gives you device security, a VPN for privacy, and multi-step protection, all in one. Save 25% or more on the first year. Opt into cybersafety at willis.com/join. Your city's been broken. It's meeting the people stars, to casting another mind, and letting time float by. From Shattered State Park to Indian Cave State Park, and every recreation area, historical, and state parks in between, here's to your adventures. Remember, here's to 100 years of your Nebraska State Parks. Plan your next trip today at NebraskaParks100.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasting Association and this station.
Spring forward at Banana Republic Factory with 50 to 70% off everything. Shop season favorites from colorful dresses to easy tops from $19.99. Find your nearest store or shop online only at Banana Republic Factory. Enjoy 50 to 70% off almost everything at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Shop tees from $6.99 and joggers from $24.99. Plus extra 15% off online. Exclusions apply. Shop the sale through April 6th.
There comes a time when replacement outweighs continuous repairs. Call Wellman Heating and Air Conditioning to see how a new Carrier high-efficiency temperate system may be the right solution for your home. Installing a more efficient system will save you time, hassle, and money over the life of the equipment. Find the right heating, cooling, and air quality solutions for your home with Carrier. Turn to the experts. Wellman Heating and Air Conditioning, your factory-authorized dealer for Carrier products. WellmanHeating.com.
Armstrong and Getty, the fun way to start the workday. Weekday mornings from 9-11 on Lincoln's KFOR.
Where home solutions live, this is the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you've got a home improvement question, you can reach out to us at facebook.com/themoneypit. That's facebook.com/themoneypit.
Anna is reaching out to us from California for help with an insulation project. She writes, we bought a house in Southern California with vaulted ceilings and no attic. As far as we can tell, there's no insulation in the walls of the house or above the ceilings. Can we install or blow in insulation into the walls or ceilings, and would it be worth it?
Well, first off, having no insulation would be very unusual. It might seem that way because you can't see it, but I would be shocked if you got absolutely no insulation. So what I would suggest you do first is an energy audit. Some company may offer these for free, or you can hire your own independent auditor. Just make sure the auditor is independent of any contractors that sell energy-saving services. Now, your auditor will be able to do an infrared scan of your walls and ceilings, and that way you'll be able to determine if the insulation actually exists, as well as identify any gaps in that insulation. Now, for cathedral ceilings, there are really two ways to approach adding insulation. The first and most basic is to insulate between the rafters themselves, but that requires leaving some space between the insulation and the underside.
We're here to lend a hand. Call us at 888-MONEYPIT.
888-666-3974. And just ahead, if you own a home and you want to rent it, splitting it into 2 rental units is an option you might want to consider. We'll explain how to know if that approach will bring you the best return for your real estate investment when the Money Pit returns. Could your backyard use a makeover? You can create beautiful outdoor living spaces with Rumblestone from Pavestone. Create a paver patio or walkway, a garden retaining wall, grill enclosure, fire pit, or even an outdoor kitchen. These rustic building blocks make it easy and they look great. Rumblestone from Pavestone is available at the Home Depot. And be sure to check out the project ideas and the how-to videos at pavestone.com.
Hey, you know all the dice coating DIY real stone products we're always talking about? Well, they're now available at both Lowe's and Home Depot, including the amazing Spreadstone countertop refinishing kit, the track-safe anti-stick sealer, and the Dice 100 garage floor kit. But Lowe's and Home Depot also carry dice coating sealer.
This is the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Real experts, real advice. That's what's unique about the Money Pit. We don't play home improvement experts anywhere else in the media. This is actually what we do and what we've done pretty much our whole lives since we were old enough to swing a hammer.
Yeah, you know, I tried that with my youngest son, and he liked it so much, he used that hammer to smash one of our new china plates. My wife wasn't too happy, but I thought of it kind of as a learning moment, and now he's graduating this year with engineering degree, so you see, it all worked out. That's right. 397 call us right now with your home improvement questions. We'll try to help you out with some answers.
in January, we had some mold in the closet and on the ceiling. And on the floor was all wet, and that's how we noticed it. And as we progressed, we noticed that the mold is going all the way around the perimeter of the house, all inside on the ceiling. And it's getting worse, and it's all black mold. My question is, how can we go about fixing and making sure once it's fixed, the mold, making sure that the mold is all gone so it doesn't come back? That's the issue.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that all in you have more than 10 square feet of mold?
Oh, yes. It's all around the
So this is beyond the level of mold infestation that's recommended that you do yourself. It's recommended that you, the CDC recommends that if you have more than 10 square feet of mold, you hire a professional remediation company to get it done. The reason mold forms is because of the dampness and humidity in these spaces and the presence of organic matter and oxygen. So that could be drywall and air. You know, there's food and there's the air and the humidity and the water, and the air is all the third part of it, and you get mold growth. Now, once the mold is remediated and clean, then you can look environmentally at that space and try to figure out how to dry it out so that you don't create the conditions that are conducive to mold growth. But I'm afraid this is beyond the level that you can do yourself, and you do have to have a pro that can help you do this. So I would suggest that you go to a site like homeadvisor.com and find a highly referred remediation pro in your area, maybe 2 or 3 of them, have them give you estimates and talk to you about the approach that they take to solve this problem for you, because it's beyond what you do yourself. And if it is black mold, that could contain what we call mycotoxins, which could be bad for people that have weak respiratory systems. So it's not the kind of thing you want to dig into yourself, because you could make it worse, or you could make yourself miserable in the process. So wish we had better news for you, but that is what you're up against. And thanks so much for calling us. 888-MONEY.
Well, buying a single-family home has always been a great entry point for new investors looking to start a rental portfolio. But for those who want to create multiple streams of income, converting a single-family property to a multi-family home is becoming more and more common.
True, but before you start building walls and adding an extra door, you want to make sure it makes financial sense, and do that in more ways than one. Now, the first step is to contact the municipality and find out if it's actually legal to do this in your neighborhood, and find out also what permits are required. Because, for example, if you need a zoning change, that's really, really expensive to get, and you got to get the approval of a bunch of your neighbors too, so it gets pretty expensive.
Yeah, and it's also a good idea to do a comparative market analysis or a CMA to figure out what your home would be worth now, and then after it's split, to make sure that the remodeling is actually going to add real value to your property.
Yeah, and keep in mind, speaking of that, remember that the rent you now get for the entire house won't be exactly double, when you split the home. So figure out what that rent would be for each unit in a multifamily home value situation, so you understand the big picture. Only then will you know if it makes economic sense or not.
Now, we've got Philip on the line who needs some help installing a bathroom. What are you working on?
Well, we have an unusual house. It's all concrete, poured concrete, back in the 80s. So all of the walls in the upper and lower are concrete. Now, we have one bathroom in this house. However, we want to install a small half bath in the bedroom right next to the bathroom that's in the basement now. So we have a concrete wall between the two. We have concrete floors where the toilet and the bathtub is installed now. Between the bathtub and the other wall, the plumbing is in there. That's not concrete. That is framed in. So that we have access to that in the room next door. But the question is we want to install another bathroom, a half bath. So we want a toilet and a sink. The sink is no problem, because what I just said about the plumbing being roughed in there. But boy, how do we really want to do this? So it's going to take some, I assume, some demolition work to get down into that.
What room do you